In Here to Slay, your role is to assemble a full party of heroes in order to slay dangerous monsters while working to avoid the sabotage of your enemies. Just as a PSA, friendships don't exist in the board game space. Now you can also equip items to your heroes, harness powerful magic, and use role modifiers to tip the odds ever in your favor. And with that, welcome back, or welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to teach you exactly how to play Here to Slay, starting off first with the setup. Now today I'm going to show you how to play using the Party Leaders edition. So first up, pick one of your party leaders and put them right in front of you. It'll be on the bottom left slot of your player mat if you're using one of those. You can also give everyone a rules reference card. Next, you have a deck of 134 standard size cards. Shuffle these and then give everyone 5 cards. The rest is going to go center sideways just like this. Now this makes the main deck, and then to the right of that will be the discard pile. Then you want to shuffle the bigger monster cards and flip the top 3 face up with the monster deck to the right of them. Ooh, was that set up in 30 seconds? Now next up, we're going to learn exactly how to play. So, on your turn, you have exactly 3 action points that you can spend. You can perform the same action more than once on your turn. Now here are all the possible actions that you can perform on your turn, starting first with the 1-point actions. 1, you can draw a card from the main deck. 2, you can play a hero, an item, or a magic card from your hand. And if you play a hero card, you can roll to use this effect right away. The last 1-point action is that you can roll 2 dice in order to use the effect of a hero card in your party, but you cannot use the same hero card's effect more than once per turn, even if you roll unsuccessfully the first time. And then you have the higher cost actions. For 2 action points, you can attack a monster. For 3 action points, you can discard every card in your hand and draw 5 new cards. If a card's effect tells you to perform an action immediately, then you don't have to spend an additional action point in order to take that action. Now when you run out of action points, or if you don't want to take any more actions on your turn, then your turn ends. Super simple, right? So next up, let's go over the types of cards. We have 9 classes in the game, and each one is represented by a colored symbol, and that matters because some monsters will require you to have a specific type of hero or party leader in order to attack them. In terms of the types of cards, you have the hero cards, which has a class and an effect. Each hero also has a role requirement. So here we have Hopper, and Hopper is a wizard class. On the bottom, it shows a 7+ symbol in green, which means that you have to roll at least a 7 to use this effect, which then causes a player to sacrifice a hero card. Now hero cards will go on the top row of your player mat. Next up, we have item cards, which are enchanted weapons or objects that you can equip to your hero cards. You have items that can be beneficial to your heroes, and you also have cursed items that you can equip to enemy heroes. So when you play an item card, you do have to equip it right away by just sliding it right underneath the hero. Now also note that you can only equip these cards to heroes and not party leaders. Every hero card can only have 1 item at a time, and you can't replace one item with another item. So if a hero gets destroyed, stolen, or returned to the hand, then that item also gets destroyed, stolen, or returned to the hand along with the associated hero. Now next up, we have magic cards. These give you a one-time powerful effect, and they go straight to the discard pile after you use them. Now we have 2 more types of cards in the main deck. Modifier cards are used to tip the odds in your favor. Now you can play a modifier card instantly from your hand when any player, including yourself, rolls the dice to modify the roll by the amount stated on the modifier card. And then after you play a modifier card, you're going to move it to the discard pile right away after using its effect. Now some modifiers will give you options like +1 or -3. If you're using one of those that give you options, make sure you declare the option that you want to use on the current roll. If you want to modify another player's roll, you can wait until the player chooses their target before deciding whether or not you want to use your modifier card. Now each player can also play any number of modifier cards on the same roll, but once everyone finishes their modifier, then you're going to combine the total change from all modifier cards and adjust the roll in total accordingly. And the last type of cards are the fun cards, aka the challenge cards. You can challenge another player by playing this type of card on their turn when they attempt to play any hero, any item, or any magic card from their hand. And just like modifier cards, challenge cards don't cost any action points to play. Now when you challenge another player, each of you has to roll 2 dice. If your roll is equal to or higher than that player that you challenged, then they move the card that they try to play to the discard pile. And then they also lose that action point, but if their roll is higher than yours, then they just keep on going with their turn. When modifying a challenge roll, you can actually wait until both players have rolled before deciding whether or not you want to use your modifier card. Now each card can also be challenged only once, and if another player has already challenged the card that's being played, you cannot challenge that card a second time. Now let's talk about the face of the player mats, the giant standees, the front cover of the box, aka the party leaders. Now party leaders are not considered hero cards. Now, unlike hero card effects that can only be used once per turn, party leader skills can be used every time that condition is met. So like for example, if you're playing as the Cloaked Sage, aka the Wizard Party Leader, then you can draw a card every single time that you play a magic card. But remember that you must use the skill at the time that condition is met. For instance, you can't go back later and then draw a card. You have to draw a card right when you play that magic card. Now, party leaders will stay with you throughout the whole game, and they cannot be sacrificed, destroyed, stolen, or returned to your hand. Also note that if you're playing a 2-player game, you cannot use the Shadow Claw. And last of all, let's talk about the ones that you're fighting against, aka the monsters. On your turn, you can attack any face-up monster by paying 2 action points. If you want to attack a monster, you first have to meet the party requirements that's listed on the monster card that's right below the picture. Remember that your party leader is not considered a hero, so they don't count towards that party requirement. Also note that if a monster, like Orthis here, requires a wizard and any hero, you can have the wizard fulfill the wizard role or the hero role, but you can't use the wizard to fulfill both roles. You need to have 2 separate heroes to fill each slot. And just like heroes, monsters also have a roll requirement as well. So if you roll 2 dice and roll equal to or higher than the monster's requirement, then you slay. Get it? Because here it is. You also have to be careful here because monsters can fight back. So if you roll within that range, like if you get a 3 here for instance, then you have to discard 2 cards or whatever negative effect that they may have. The cool thing about slaying a monster is that your party now gains a new skill that is listed at the bottom of the monster for the rest of the game. You can also add the monster to your party next to your party leader because they do work in the same exact way. Each time you slay a monster, flip a new one face up, right in the center. Now in summary, you have 3 action points that you can spend on your turn. Starting first with action A, which is to draw a card. B, you can play a card. It can be a hero card, an item card, or a magic card. And if you play a hero card, then you can roll for that hero's effect right away. Or C, you can also roll 2 dice in order to use a hero's effect immediately. But remember that you can only use a hero's effect once per turn. For 2 action points, you can attack a monster card by fulfilling its requirement and praying that you roll equal to or greater than its roll requirement. If you slay the monster, you put it next to your party leader, both of which have conditional effects that you can only use when their condition is met and each time that they are met. And for 3 action points, you can discard your entire hand and draw 5 new cards. The first person to slay 3 monsters or have an entire party of 6 with all different classes and your party leader does count, that person wins. And that is how you play Here to Slay. So if you found that tutorial helpful, please consider subscribing and let's grow this channel together. If you played this game before, let me know your thoughts down below. Have fun playing Here to Slay. Thanks for watching and I'll see you all in the next video.